is JD with a new edition of Weekly News Pills, a bouquet of handpicked events in last 7 days from across the planet. I would request you to like and share these weekly news stories, subscribe to my channel and put in your valuable comments. Your comments will be a guiding light in my endeavor. News Pill 1. US lifts pandemic travel ban, opens doors to visitors.
In a matter of hours, things are going to be changing in a big way for travel in the Bay Area and across the country. The United States is lifting a nearly 2-year ban on international travel from many major countries. That means people who are fully vaccinated can visit. Now, they're going to have to still show proof of vaccination, though children under the age of 18 and those from certain countries with low vaccine availability are going to be exempt.
The US lifted restrictions Monday on travel from a long list of countries including Mexico, Canada, and most of Europe, allowing tourists to make long delayed trips and family members to reconnect with loved ones after a year and a half apart because of pandemic. Starting Monday, the US is accepting fully vaccinated travelers at airports and land borders, doing away with COVID-19 restriction that dates to the Trump administration. The new rule allows air travel from previously restricted countries if the travelers has proof of vaccination and a negative COVID-19 test. Land travel from Mexico and Canada will require proof of vaccination but no test. Airlines are expecting more travelers from Europe and elsewhere. Data from travel and analytics firm Cirium showed airlines are increasing flights between the United Kingdom and US by 21% this month over last month. The change will have a profound effect on the borders with Mexico and Canada, where traveling back and forth was a way of life until the pandemic hit. The US shut down non-essential travels. Malls, restaurants, and main street shops in United States border towns have been devastated by the lack of visitors from Mexico. On the boundary with Canada, cross-border hockey rivalries were community traditions until being upended by the pandemic. Loved ones have missed holidays, birthdays, and funerals, while non-essential air travel was barred, and they are now eager to reconnect. For air travelers, the airlines are required to verify vaccine records and match them against ID, and if they don't, they could face fines of up to nearly US $35,000 per violation. Airlines will also collect information about passengers for contact tracing efforts. There will be CDC workers spot checking travelers for compliance in the US. At land borders, Customs and Border Protection agents will check vaccine proof. News Pill 2. Digital payment startup Paytm launches India's biggest IPO.
Today we are going to talk about the largest ever Indian IPO, which is to hit the market soon. I'm talking about the digital financial services firm Paytm, which is planning to raise 18,300 crores. That pegs the asking valuation at $20 billion. In FY21, Paytm had total operating revenues of $374 million. Analysts expect Paytm to do revenues of nearly $1 billion in FY23. That would be a jump of 2.7 times in 2 years. $1 billion in sales and asking valuation of $20 billion gets us to a simple sales multiple of 20 times. Lots to talk about. We are now joined by Vijay Shekhar Sharma, Managing Director and CEO at Paytm, and Madhur Deora, President and Group CFO at Paytm.
With its US $2.46 billion target, Paytm, backed by Ant Group, SoftBank, Berkshire Hathaway, will be India's biggest IPO. India will see its biggest ever initial public offering with digital payment platform Paytm looking to raise nearly $2.5 billion in what has already been a record year for share listings. Paytm is backed by Chinese tycoon Jack Ma's Ant Group, Japan's SoftBank, and Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway, which together own about a third of the company. The firm was founded barely 10 years ago by Vijay Shekhar Sharma. He was ranked India's youngest dollar billionaire 4 years ago at the age of 38 and now has a net worth of $2.4 billion, according to Forbes. His stake of nearly 14% will most likely make him far richer still with IPO which opens on Monday. Paytm will issue fresh shares worth 83 billion rupees, that is $1.1 billion, while existing shareholders will sell shares worth $1.34 billion according to the prospectus. The IPO is expected to make Paytm India's most valuable tech company with a valuation of $20 billion, up 25% from 2 years ago. The platform was launched in 2010 and quickly became synonymous with digital payments in a country traditionally dominated by cash transactions. News Spill 3. GM-backed Cruise seeks final approval to commercialize Robotaxis in San Francisco.
We've been driving the streets of our hometown, San Francisco, nearly nonstop.
All systems ready. Engaging in 3, 2, 1. Engaged.
There we go.
Oh, we're going driverless. Oh, it just happened.
We did it again and again.
General Motors backed Cruise is seeking final approval from California to begin commercializing its Robotaxis fleet in San Francisco. The self-driving car startup said Friday it submitted a permit for an autonomous vehicle deployment with the California Public Utilities Commission. It is the last of 6 permits needed from the CPCU and California DMV to begin charging the public for rides. It's unclear how long the review and approval process may take. Cruise is the first company to apply for the permit. Cruise CEO Dan Ammann recently said the company expects to begin commercialization as early as next year, pending regulatory approval. If approved, Cruise could become the first company to operate a taxi fleet without human drivers. Alphabet-backed Waymo has also received approval from the California DMV to charge for robotaxi rides, but their permit still requires a safety driver to be in the vehicle in case of a problem. Under the most recent authorization, Cruise vehicles can operate on public roads in designated parts of San Francisco between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., including in light rain or light fog. However, they cannot exceed 30 miles per hour according to the DMV. Commercializing autonomous vehicles has been far more challenging than many predicted even a few years ago, but Waymo and Cruise are 2 of the front runners. Cruise was expected to launch a ride-hailing service for the public in San Francisco in 2019. The company delayed those plans that year to conduct further testing and obtain the needed regulatory approvals. Cruise was first granted a DMV permit for self-driving vehicles in June 2015. Since then, it has slowly expanded testing locations and scaled up its fleet to hundreds of autonomous vehicles while obtaining additional permits. Cruise's current vehicle fleet includes Chevrolet Bolt EVs, retrofitted with self-driving vehicle software and extra technologies such as cameras, radars, and LiDAR that allow the vehicles to see its surroundings. Its next vehicle fleet is expected to be made up of the Cruise Origin, a rectangular shuttle-like vehicle that has been solely designed to be an autonomous vehicle. Aman said earlier this year that GM is expected to begin producing the Origin for Cruise in early 2023. GM acquired Cruise in 2016. Since then, it has brought on investors such as Honda Motors, SoftBank Vision Fund, and more recently, Walmart and Microsoft. That is all for today. Thank you and goodbye for now. Stay blessed. See you in my next weekly episode.